welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kristen, and I do lots and lots of cooking tutorials here on my channel. Welcome to Kristen's World. No, I'm just kidding. Kristincooks. And so it's summertime and it's hot outside, and you don't want to heat up your house with your oven, right? I don't like to either. So I'm going to be using Mr. Crockpot back there. He's busy working away right now as we speak. And I have a recipe that I wanted to try today, which was inspired by Joanna Gaines. I love her style of cooking, just nothing but down home recipes, and I love it. I'm here for it. And I wanted to try her pulled pork, Dr. Pepper pulled pork sandwiches. I love pulled pork sandwiches in the summertime. It's just awesome. It's the epitome of summer, in my opinion. And I wanted to give it a try. So I've already got it going. If you want to see how I get all this together, and plus I have a little twist on potato salad that I wanted to share also. A subscriber gave me this awesome idea, which she does in her house, and I wanted to try it and see how it came out. So if you want to see how all this happens, then just keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave my video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and let's get going. Okay, so for the meat, I am starting the dry rub. This is cloves, smoked paprika, and this is for like 7 pounds of pork shoulder, and I'm doing salt and freshly ground black pepper. In Joanna Gaines' recipe, she cooks her pork in the oven, and she only uses 4 pounds. But this was on sale, and so I wanted to use what I'm using. And I wanted to also use my crock pot instead of in the oven because I didn't want to have my oven on for like 4 hours. So this led me to slow cook the pork shoulder. So, yeah. 2 tablespoons paprika, and then ground cloves. That pairs really well with the Dr. Pepper. You don't think it would make that much of a difference, but like you can tell it's there, and definitely don't leave it out. So this is my little thing I'm doing. I'm putting yellow mustard all over the outside of the pork, and this is going to just help those seasonings to really stick to the pork and excuse me, help it start to get tender and juicy in the fridge overnight. So yeah, I'm doing this the night before. I wanted this to have the dry rub on it as long as it could before I started cooking it, and I think it really helped. Okay, so next morning, I am starting on the potato salad that I wanted to serve. So a subscriber of mine, she said that sometimes she makes her potato salad with roasted potatoes versus boiling the potatoes. And I thought that sounded like a really interesting, great idea. So here we are. So I have 1 bag of Yukon Golds. You can use any kind of potato that you want. Baby reds would work really well, or russets, but these are just like a really creamy option to me, so that's why I'm doing these. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm going to quarter each potato because I want the outside of all these potatoes to get really golden brown and get some crisp going on them. I don't want them really crispy, but just kind of somewhere in the middle because I don't want the texture of the potato salad to become weird in my head. I don't know. But that's just how I'm doing this. So I'm just quartering each potato. Feel free to just boil the potatoes if you want. You know, you don't have to do it like this. This is something new that I'm trying. So I have some olive oil there, and I'm just coating each of the potatoes really well. I'm just seasoning with some ground paprika, some Italian seasoning, and then I have the salts here, or actually this is garlic powder, I'm sorry, and then I have Lowry seasoned salt. So I'm just seasoning these. You can, again, season these however you want. You don't have to do it like this. You could also put rosemary on the outside of these, or to coat these, that'd be really good. Or dill, or thyme. I mean, like, it's really versatile and up to your interpretation. So then I'm going to roast them for about 30 to 40 minutes. Just until they get the amount of golden brownness on the outside that I want. So, you know, hence it took about 30 to 40 minutes. And then I just dump them into a big bowl, because now we're going to start building the dressing for it. So I have my mix and chop here, and I'm just going to lightly mash the potatoes just to release a lot of that steam. And while they're still warm, I'm going to start the seasoning with the white vinegar. So just a couple capfuls is all you really need. And then I allowed my potatoes to cool down just a little bit more. And then I go in with the mayo and the mustard. And then we have a kind of like 3 ribs of chopped celery, green onion, as you see here, lots of eggs. Okay, and then I put that in the fridge to cool down. And then this is before I'm going to, this is after I did potato salad. Then I'm making the coleslaw. So I have just like some mayo and sour cream, some apple cider vinegar. I'm just eyeballing all this. I've made coleslaw enough times, like I kind of know what goes into it. Celery salt. I would have put celery seed, but I was out. That reminds me, I have to add that to my list. I have garlic powder. And then to cut through all the tartness from the apple cider vinegar, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. Oh, and I also added just I think I just used the celery salt and then black pepper. And you just got to kind of taste it and add, and then taste and then add. You just got to have to kind of play it by ear and just by taste to know what you have here, and to get it to the level that you want as far as the tartness and the sweetness and the saltiness and the creaminess. Like, you just kind of taste as you go and put it in. So I wanted to going back to the potato salad, I wanted to make sure and make that early enough in the morning so that it can sit in the fridge all day, and then it'll be really nice and chilled by dinner time. And I can add a little bit more mayo if the potatoes soaked up too much of the mayo. So that's why I did the potato salad really early in the morning. And then I also like dill in my coleslaw. This coleslaw is going to go on top of my sandwich, and also I had a little bit on the side. I love coleslaw. I'm the only one in my house that does, by the way. So I can just make this truly to how I like it. And I love dill. All right. So I'm going to put in some grated carrot, as you see here. I prefer to grate the cabbage and the carrot myself at home rather than using bagged stuff from the store, because the texture is just so much more fresh, and I just enjoy it a lot more when I do it myself than when I buy the bagged coleslaw mix. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I like to just assemble it together myself. You could also add in some purple cabbage in here. That would be good. I like that idea, but I just don't need that much cabbage at one time, because like I said, I'm the only one that eats this, and I just don't need all that extra cabbage sitting around. So I just opt for green cabbage and call it a day. So here it is. It's beautiful. It's ready to go in the fridge and wait for dinner time. Okay, so also I'm getting close to finishing up the sandwiches here. By this time the pork is done, and I'm starting the slurry, which is 12 ounces of Dr. Pepper. Then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and this is going to help to thicken the barbecue sauce that I'm going to put together here in just a minute. Just like this. As I wasn't expecting it to froth up that much from the Dr. Pepper. I usually don't do this, so this kind of took me by surprise a little bit, but I just waited a minute and let it dissipate a little bit, and then I was able to move on and really get my whisk in there and mix it together. So then I'll just set this aside and I'll start assembling the barbecue sauce. So into a saucepan, medium heat, 1 cup of ketchup, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and then 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, and then that is hot sauce. I use Cholula because that's what I had. Liquid smoke, soy sauce. I will link this recipe in the description, and then we have our seasonings: paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, mustard powder. That goes in. And then there goes the slurry. And then I'll just whisk it all together and mix it all together. And then I'll bring this to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer. And then this will sit on the stovetop and simmer away for about 30 minutes. Oh, and the rest of the Dr. Pepper, I almost forgot this part. Yes, it would not be quite the same without it. So I wanted to add in the rest of the Dr. Pepper. And again, let it sit and simmer away for about 30 minutes, and it will thicken, and it will just get wonderfully delicious. I love this recipe. I'm definitely going to make it again. This turned out so good. So alongside the potato salad and coleslaw, I'm going to put some roasted corn. So I have 4 ears of corn, and then I'm just going to coat them with some olive oil like this. Drizzle it on, and then move the ears of corn all around so that the oil coats the whole corn on the cob. I have my grill outside heated up, and it's hot. I'm going to do these on high, and I'm ready to throw these on. These will be on the grill for about 20 minutes. I'll make sure and rotate them around every once in a while. Tahini is so good on corn. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it is so good on corn. You really, next time you have corn on the cob, put some tahini on there, man. It's so good. I tried this just like over the 4th of July, and it was so tasty. The lime really works well with the sweetness of the corn, and I love it. It is so, so good. So I recommend subbing that instead of black pepper. I mean, use black pepper also. I mean, you know, if you like it that much. But the tahini is a great sub for black pepper. And then I also just did plain salt on these corns too. You got to have salt on corn. It brings out the sweetness. Not too much, just a little sprinkle. Sprinkle here. So this method turned out to be a very useful method for doing corn on the cob on the grill. I was kind of just going back and forth. Should I leave it in the husk or shouldn't I? But I think dehusking it and wrapping it in foil and all that stuff was the way to go, in my opinion. I really like doing it that way. I mean, I also don't mind it boiled too, but grilled corn is the way to go. My family just fell in love with this method of doing corn on the cob, and I'm going to be doing it like this all summer. They really enjoyed it. My daughter jumped in here so I could, you know, film and get my utensils ready to go for the grill. So here we are. We're going out to the grill. There we are. Hi. Very hot. Very hot. So just throw them on and come out every once in a while and flip them around so they get nice and roasted. So here's our wonderful, wonderful pork shoulder. This was probably in the slow cooker on low for about 7 hours, but I could have taken it off at like 5 or 6 because honestly, just between you and me, I was a little afraid that I overcooked it. I over slow cooked, but no, it was really, really good. But just a heads up, this is 7 pounds of pork shoulder. And yeah, slow cooked it for about 7 hours. I also didn't know about the cooking liquid, if I should add any to it or not, or just throw it in the way it was. All I ended up doing though was I just added some apple cider vinegar into the bottom of the slow cooker. I squirted some on top of it and put a lid on it, and it was fine. Otherwise, it probably would have been overflowing with liquid. And if you put too much liquid in with the pork, it could actually kind of dry it out too, I think is what I read. But yeah, I just put a squirt down. I didn't measure anything. I just squirted some apple cider vinegar in there. And look, it turned out it's so juicy, and it was really, really tender. In some places it was just like butter. But when you're picking out a pork shoulder, I like to get a nice marbling of the fat throughout the pork shoulder. So when you're picking out in the store, if it just kind of looks like it's all just pork and you don't see hardly any white marbling through the meat, then pick out one that does a little bit more. So I just shredded the meat, and then I'm going to pour on quite a bit of the Dr. Pepper sauce, barbecue sauce. Mix it in. I ended up adding more. This makes quite a bit of barbecue sauce anyway. You'll have some left over for the side. If somebody wants to add more to their meat, they can. But this turned out really, really well. Look how tender that looks. It is so delicious. It's smoky, it's sweet, and we love this. And we just toasted some hamburger buns. She has brioche buns in her recipe. I used Carb Master buns, and it just turned out so good. Look at all this stuff. This was a really good dinner this night. Excuse me. So here I am. I'm going to build up my plate here. So on the bun here, I'm going to just pile on a bunch of the meat, bunch of the pork. I have a lot left too. And it would work really well as a quesadilla for leftovers, or, make another sandwich, or freeze it and save it for later. Like, there's a lot of options to use up all that meat. I'm going to have to figure something out because we have a lot left over in the fridge. But anyway, here goes the coleslaw right on top. Are you team coleslaw on top of your pulled pork sandwich or not? I love it. I need to have it. That's just me. And then we're going to go in with some more potato salad, or some potato salad, I should say. But yeah, that potato salad turned out really, really well. I'm going to do, when I make mine, I will do it both ways now. I will do it roasted and I will do it boiled. So thank you, subscriber, for letting me know about how you do it in your home. So here it is. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.